PLA's military drills, and whether China is actually planning to invade Taiwan anytime soon.
Historical reason why China, a country of 1.4 billion, wants to invade Taiwan, a country of 24 million.
Cross this 130-kilometer wide strait to invade the island of Taiwan, a place that China doesn't think is a real country, but rather a part of China itself.
I'm not here to talk about what could start a war like this. There's a ring of fire around the Asian continent, including Ukraine, Syria, the Chinese-Indian borderland in the Himalayas, Pakistan, and Taiwan. However, there are some things that make me very, very worried. The first thing is that China has literally, where I and a friend who's a CEO who runs a geopolitics consulting firm, predicted that the Chinese would attack Taiwan last spring because all of it just added up, but then...
As you guys seen, a lot of people think, for whatever reason, we're gonna go war. Whether it be with China, Russia, whatever. A lot of Americans, in particular, think that we're going to start a new war for some reason. And part of it makes sense. I don't blame some people, like, when Russia invaded Ukraine, like, for the first month. But the more you think of it, the less sense it makes. And let's actually first start with Russia. These are the NATO/Russian borders right now. You see them occupying this Ukrainian land, but it's very debatable around whether they could actually hold it. And Ukraine might even push into Crimea if they're lucky. And the reason why I think Russia isn't going to invade Europe to begin with is because of their combined GDPs. You can see already, not even including US, you got places like Germany, UK, France, Italy, Canada, that all have stronger GDPs than Russia. Where even is Russia? Holy shit. Finland? No. They gotta be somewhere around here. Alright, they're 11th. So you see Canada is stronger economically, Italy, France, UK, Germany. So if they really want to, they could have a bigger army than Russia does. Just with, like, Germany could have a stronger army, France could have a stronger army, Britain could have a stronger army than Russia. On their own. And the fact, you don't even need America. These countries on their own could defend against Russia. Finland that just joined, which more than double the EU border now. And I wouldn't be surprised if a country like Ukraine would let EU troops to even go, or not EU, NATO troops to go through. And you got countries like Sweden that are lining up to probably become NATO countries. So, let's view it from Russia's perspective. They realize already certain countries are stronger than them economically. And combine this with US, Russia knows themselves that they have no chance against NATO. So, it makes it not as much sense. And to be fair, people like Wolfowitz even understand this, and that's why more people, I feel like, are in line of thinking that it's going to be against China. But this might even make less sense if you really think about it. China, all they care about is just the trade down here. And if the US is hard power with their troops in Europe and the Middle East, China is soft power with its trade. Unlike America, where we have our power through stationing our troops in the Middle East and Europe and having them in NATO, China does it with trade, which is unique for a major power. As you see Russia too, they're also more of a hard power like America, where they have troops in Ukraine pushing through, just like how we do that in like the Middle East or Iraq, where we push through with our hard power. China, however, they don't do hard power. They do soft power. And we see this with them trading with USA you see that USA's imports, let's actually see it, is predominantly China. You can see, yeah, the US imports are predominantly China. And that's China's game, really. That's why they do the Belt and Road, to do more trade. You see them investing in Greece. Yeah, like places like Greece, Serbia, and the Balkans, really. And even some parts of Africa. They don't do military, they do economics. They invest in land, trade, and overall they would actually want the world to be more peaceful, so places like America could buy more Chinese goods. Why on earth would you think that China wants to start a war with Taiwan, which is going to make them weaker because then you have less trading? If we see China's exports, it's mostly to Western countries actually, not Eastern. Here, you see that China's biggest trade partner is the U.S., then Hong Kong. Well, not if you not include Hong Kong, then Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Germany, Netherlands, India, UK. So China wants to keep good relations with these countries in particular because these are the countries that they trade the most and they want more money to help further their projects. So if anything, they don't want to harm the USA, harm Hong Kong, harm China. I mean Japan, because these countries are the countries with the money, the people, and are trading with China the most. Like, why on earth would you not want to? Why on earth would you harm your potential trade partners? And that's something most geopolitics don't understand about, the economics behind it. Because China wants the US to be more stable so they could trade more with them. Because if US becomes unstable, they'll start trading less with China because they have less money. So if anything, China actually wants a strong USA so it could keep up its economy. So yeah, so the Chinese could keep up their economy and keep on trading with them. It's kind of funny how before it was Americans that benefited from free trade. You see this with the Qing, where a lot of Europeans want to carve up it, but USA want to do free trade because they're the ones with the industrial, like, capacity. But now it's China. It's like the world's factory now, not US. It's kind of flipped. So now that China benefits from free trade, and even though I'm particularly more interested in I guess protectionism, bringing jobs back here. The one good thing I see with like Reagan and with the free trade thing is it makes war make that much less sense, considering you're gonna lose a whole lot of money from your main trade partners now that China has. So that's why I don't think China is gonna to invade Taiwan, because the USA, Japan, South Korea, India, Germany, Vietnam, these guys are China's biggest trade partners. So why on earth do you think they want to jeopardize a relationship with these guys? Not only that, countries like Europe are becoming closer with China because they realize that USA is fear mongering. You see this with Macron, where he's pushing out their against America and saying if America declares war on China, France would not join. And we see historically that France likes to be more neutral to these conflicts, like with when we were bombing Libya and stuff, and we bombed the Middle East. France realized the atrocities we're doing and blocked U.S. airspace because they weren't wanting to be part of it, and I actually respect France for that. France is one of the few countries that has a backbone against the U.S. So sometimes, like I said, like when USA tries to do bomb raids in North Africa or Middle East, I remember back in like the 90s, France literally was like saying like, you can't fly your airplanes around us, and declare airspace around France, which made America so upset they called it a French freedom fries because they're like, fuck you, we want to bomb whatever country we want to. Because as Americans, we like to be stupid sometimes. And that's why I'm tired of these channels trying to propagate this when it's not in China's interest. And it's definitely not in America's interest. We're the ones who need these materials that China makes. It's important for China, but it's even more important for America. So that's why neither country is going to invade each other. Why was it supposed to be a factory? It just doesn't make sense. And if I had to thank Reagan for one thing, is that free trade does make people not want to do conflict, because it just doesn't make sense. That's all. And don't get fed this U.S. propaganda that America loves, where they want to collapse China, so they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear, like them trying to invade Taiwan when they haven't. I don't even know. Them just try and propagate more U.S. agitation, I guess. And even like, you see some mainstream channels talking about how the Dalai Lama, oh, he's just playful, that's why he's sucking the kid's tongue, or trying to. It just doesn't make sense. And part of the reason why they do that is because they realize the Dalai Lama is anti-China, so they're like, oh, even though he might be a pedophile that likes little kids, at least he's anti-China, so that must mean he's good. So you see this, like, how USA overlooks certain people like the Dalai Lama just because they're not the biggest fan of China. And that's really it.